Hello everyone, welcome to Ylock. Today we'll be going over finding the difference. Today we'll be going over 6th grade worksheet, which will start from finding the difference. So, it's just going to be subtraction of integers. That means whole numbers. Whole numbers can be either positive or negative. So, once you're subtracting 5 from negative 6, you're going to be getting negative 11 because these two numbers combine. So, I guess a way to explain it is going to be negative 6 minus 5, right? You can take out the negative sign and put it across and then have a parentheses. So 6 plus 5, and then you have a negative sign over it. If both of these are negative, you can cross out both negatives, place a negative sign, and this is what you get. And you get 11, and then you negative that, and then you get negative 11. And for number 5, let's go, let's go over something a little more difficult. Let's go over number 4. Number 4, negative 7 minus negative 13. Alright, let's do the exact same thing we did on number 1 and factor out a negative. So negative 7 minus 13. Alright, so since you have 7 minus 13 here, that's going to be, well, as you know, negative 5. Negative 5, but you have like a negative in front of it. And two negatives do make a positive, and you get 5 as your answer. Let's go over a similar one to number 4, but with larger numbers. You don't have to be scared. An easier way than this, you can just cross this out and put a positive sign, or an addition sign. Because two negatives do make a positive, negative 29 minus negative 21 is going to be negative 29 plus 21. And then from there, you can do this, and you get negative 8. You can add these two, and then you do get negative 8. Let's go over number 8. Number 8. 8 minus negative 8. Just like this, we can cancel out the two negatives, make a positive, and it becomes 8 plus 8. That's simply 16. Alright. Last problem. Number 10. 3 minus negative 14. Just like that. Simple as crossing these out, adding a plus sign, and adding a cross. Alright, the next page is going to be about multiplication of integers. So, our goal here is to find the product. 7 times negative 2 is negative 14. Why? 7 times, let's just take out the negative for now. It's just 7 times 2 is 14. We already know that. But we have one negative sign, and one negative is a negative when you're multiplying across. Okay? Let's take another example. 5 times 7. There's no negatives here, so it's just 35. Just as simple as that. Another one. Negative 7 times 7. We know what 7 times 7 is. It's 49. But since we have one negative, and it doesn't matter whether it's to the front or the back, it's going to be one negative, then the product will be negative. Okay? For instance, I know there isn't one here, but if it was negative 3 minus negative 3 times negative 6, it would have been positive 18. Because two negatives make a positive when multiplying. Okay? 9 times 7. 9 times 7, we all know this, 63. Alright, let's go over the next page. The circumference of a circle, and it says to calculate each circumference of each circle. And the formula right here they give us is C equals 2 pi r. Alright, and we're trying to solve for C right here. Pi and 2 pi is a set number, right? So all we have to find out from the problem is r. And it shows us right here, number 1. What is r? R is right here. The radius, 0.9 feet. 0.9 times 2 pi. Alright, once you multiply something by 0.9, we get 1.8 pi as our answer. And that's going to be your circumference. You don't have to, I mean, if you want, I guess you can multiply it out, and what you would get is 5.655 feet. Make sure to write down the units. Feet. Okay? Either of these answers would be acceptable. Number 2. This one's a little more different. This one's a little different. You have the entire line right here. This is called the diameter. And how do we get the radius from the diameter? Well, we just have to divide the diameter by 2, right? Half of the diameter is the radius, and the half of that is 0.8 feet. That times 2 pi, and then you get 1.6 feet. 1.6 pi feet. And that's gonna be your answer for this one. And if you want to multiply it out, I guess it's 5.026656 feet, I guess. Let's go over the last one. 0.1 yard. Well, it's really simple. This is just the radius, so you don't have to do any of the dividing by 2 or anything. So all you have to do is 0.1 times 2 pi, right? And you get 0.2 pi as your answer. Alright, last page. This is going to be just some word problems, and all we have to do is write down the question into multiplication or division and ratios, and it'll be really easy. So ratio of tomatoes to red apples is 2 to 5. So for every 2 tomatoes, there will be 5 red apples. If there are 20 tomatoes, how many red apples will there be? Well, let's solve right here. These two, if you divide it, the ratio 2 to 5 is going to be equal to 1 when in terms of tomatoes to red apples. Okay, so 20. All right, let's get this straight. 20. So since you have 20 here, well, t is going to be equal to 10. This is also going to be equal to t, so it's going to also be equal to 10, and then you get 50. So it's going to be a 20 to 50 ratio, right? Because it's just multiplied by it's just multiplied by 10 onto the ratio. So 50 red apples. Let's go over number 3. Ratio of potatoes to turnips is 1 to 1. Wow, that's an easy ratio. 1 to 1. 473 to 473. And that's going to be, and this is going to be the number of our turnips. 473, 473. Last problem here. Sorry about that. The ratio of bananas to melons is 30 to 1. 30b equals to 1m. So right here, 300. These two are the same, and that's what we have to account for. And we would get 10 melons, because 30 times what is equal to 300? 10. So this would also be equal to 10. And the answer is 10 melons. And thank you for listening. Have a good day. Have a good Thanksgiving. Yeah. Bye.